Hello, welcome again to the Tapestry of Loss. This is our fourth session, I believe it is.
Yes, it is.
It's a privilege and an honour to be with you all today. We're looking forward to today's episode, and we have our guest, Marcia. So we've got two Marcias with us today, and we want to say thank you, Marcia. Welcome to our channel, our YouTube channel. And we're going to have some good discussion today.
Right.
Okay, our conversation really focuses around disenfranchised grief, the grief that doesn't get spoken about or recognized. You know, we know that when somebody passes away, we honor them, and we have service and all the rest of it. But what Marcia's going to share today is something that we probably don't always understand. I'm guilty of that. I didn't understand it until Marcia kind of explained it. So let me just stop talking for a while, because I can talk, as you know. But let me introduce Marcia to us, and you just tell us about yourself, and then Marcia will just go from there. Yeah, okay.
Hello, hi everyone. As you heard, my name is Marcia Walker, and thank you, Shauna and Marcia, for having me on your show. Yes, I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother, I'm a mental health nurse, and most of all, I'm a Christian. And I love people, also I love animals. That's why I'm here today, to share my experience about my cats. You know, I've had several deaths, like persons. I lost my mom, my dad, families. I've recently lost a cousin. And also I've had several deaths with my 3 cats. I've lost 3 cats. So I'm here to tell you about, my experience in losing my cats. So yeah.
So thank you for sharing that with us, Marcia. I hope we can, discuss in depth a little bit about your cats. But can you tell us about them?
Okay, I had Oreo. And I had Kenzo and Tommy. I've lost Oreo and Kenzo. They both got run over, but Tommy was the recent one that I lost. I just don't know where he's been. Went out the morning, and that was it. We just didn't see him again. So yeah.
Can I just ask? First of all, let's just backtrack a little bit. So when did you become because Marcia's a lover of cats. Let me just put that out there. She really is. Yes. She's a little Dr. Doolittle here, all right? So let me just ask you, or Mrs. Doolittle, because she does talk to her cats and she treats them really well. If you see them, they just, anyway. But before we go a little bit further, Marcia, just tell us, when did you become, what's the word? A lover. Yeah, a lover. Yeah, a lover. Can I say that?
Yes,
a lover.
Yes,
I don't want to say, a lover of cats. So yes.
Yeah, basically, I actually love cats from when I was a child. I was actually born in Jamaica, and we used to have cats. And I remember when we were small, because in Jamaica, the way how they treat animals is totally different from here. So I remember as a child, we had this cat, and I really loved this cat. My mom and dad, they used to say, the cat don't come in the bed. And what I used to do is hide the cat under my sheet.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's where it started. I really love cat from there. And, moving on, coming here, even though I love cat, I didn't actually want a cat. But my daughter, who knows that I love cat, she was saying, Mom, I'm going to get you a cat. I said, no, I don't want a cat. It's quite expensive to look after these animals here. I said, I don't want that responsibility. But one day I woke up, my daughter, she was actually living in London at the time. She came to visit, and she bought a cat.
Oh, wow.
So hence that's how I start having cat while I'm here. And from one cat, I lost that one, then I end up having several cats, have kittens, and so at the moment I still have 4 cats.
4, oh wow. And these cats, can I just say, let me just interject a little bit. Now, I'm not an animal lover. Let me be careful. I'm not an animal lover. But you see Marcia's cats, they're fat and they're fluffy. She looks after them like she's looking after a little child, honestly. But anyway, that's for another time or later on. So,
yeah, so can you, I know this is going to be hard, but can you tell us the hardest part of losing Tommy?
Yeah. Tommy was actually the last one that I lost. I don't know where he is. It's quite hard because Tommy, he's got a character. He's quite loving. Tommy was the one who, if anybody come to the house, he would be there. And he's quite friendly. He's loving. He never leaves me. Like, Tommy always come and lie on my stomach when I'm in my bed. You know, he's a total different character from the others. So yes, Tommy was special.
He was a friend.
He was he was special, and you know, he would come and you know, it's like I can talk to him. And let me just say this about Tommy as well, because in the past, you know, being a Christian, you know, I've had several experiences with Tommy where he went out one night and he came back and I noticed he couldn't walk. He was limping. And then I remember saying to my daughter, you know, I couldn't touch him or anything. It's like his leg was hurting. And I said to my daughter, oh my God, I'm going to have to take him to the vet. And, you know, if you know anything about vet bill in the UK, it can be expensive. So I said to my daughter, come, let's pray. So my daughter and I, we came together, put my hand on the cat's leg, and we prayed. And we believed God. We left it there. The morning we wake up, the cat just jumped off the bed, no pain, run down the step, and that was it. Tommy got healed. So there was just something, it's just special about Tommy. Yes. But yes, it was quite hard. It was quite hard, you know, knowing that he's not there anymore and I don't know where he is. But I think the comfort was that because I had other cats, so it actually took my focus from Tommy. But there's times when it comes and I remember, you know, I just use something else to distract myself, but it wasn't easy, and it's still not easy when I remember, you know, that Tommy's not there anymore.
You're actually going through a grieving process.
Yes. Because you were talking about it now, I feel like I'm going to get emotional, but I'm going to try not to. You
said two things, Marcia. The one was about the character. Because sometimes I don't think, you know, we know people, we say, oh, character's like this and his character's like this, we talk about people. But when we don't understand that animals, your cat or your dog or whatever, has a character. And sometimes you don't realise that, you don't understand that with people that don't have cats. And you said he had a character, he was, you know, kind, he would come and, you know, come to you and bring you some kind of comfort. Just like probably a human being would in a way, you know what I mean? Carry on.
To be honest, Tommy, my cats, and especially Tommy, they like a child. They remind me like a little child because, you know, when you speak to them, they respond. They can't talk, but you can see that they respond to you. And if you say, don't do this, then they don't, they walk away. You know, so, but, you know, it's just, if you don't have a cat and if you don't love your cat, you know, because the cats, they've got an instinct. They know whether you like them or not. So, you know, they will not be drawn to you because they can pick up. And it's recently, since I lost Tommy, I start sort of researching more about cats and getting to understand more. So I realized that what Tommy was doing is like, you know, he trusts me, you know, because of me being there, feeding him, being kind to him, looking after him. There was just a bond and a trust there. So, you know, just recently I have actually, you know, researched and pick up certain things about cat.
And the second thing you said about praying for Tommy, you know what I mean? Because we laugh because I feel like Tommy, pray for the cats, and we laugh because we don't. But we pray for a sick person.
Yes.
We're Christians. We're all Christians on the line. And one of the things that we believe in is the power of prayer. And so we would pray for a sick loved one, a friend or relative, or
That's right, yes.
a colleague. We would pray. That's a natural thing we would do. But I wouldn't, Marcia, necessarily think about praying for an animal. So that, the fact that you did that, and you said that the cat got healed. So what would you say?
Because what I do, to be honest, as a Christian, my household I commit to God. So even my animals, everything is in my house. I commit because I understand spiritual warfare, that the enemy can use those cats as well. Just like he uses people.
Yes.
So I cover my animals. Yes. So that's one of the things. Yes.
So
yes.
It's the edge.
Yes.
Edge around the animals.
And we talk about the grieving process. So when we lose a human being, a person, we talk about Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of grief, and we know there are other theories about grief, and some of them have got 7, some of them have 9. So we're not specifically drawn to one of them, but Kubler-Ross is one of those ones we tend to draw to. We talk about shock and anger and all these kind of, so with your cat, can you tell us that you've lost loved ones? Is the grief similar or is it different? And can you try and explain to us what that might look like?
Yes, I would say individually as a person is how you deal with it. But as a Christian, what I do whenever any grieving process, even someone, I try to use the word of God and not focus on it if it's coming on, because sometimes when I start talking about, then I start feeling emotional. Then I will just sort of think on what the word of God says. So I think that's what helped me through the process with Tommy and the others. And then the other thing that helped is because he wasn't the only one. Even though he was special, he wasn't the only one. There were other cats. So I sort of put my focus on them, and what I realized as well, that they too also know that Tommy wasn't there, that she was missing, because I've got Bella, who used to be quite close to Tommy, but he was sort of jealous of Tommy because Tommy would always be with me, and she would also want to come, but she don't want to come when Tommy's there. So she was jealous.
Cat rivalry going on.
So what I noticed that he was constantly looking to see if Tommy's coming and looking for him, during that time. So he also knew that's something, and I could see that he also misses him as well. So back to that process now. As I said, I uses because I have them, and knowing that they also, there's another one. I also got Shelly was there as well. So they also realized that Tommy was missing. So I had to focus on them, even though in the back of my mind I'm thinking about Tommy, but I'm also focusing on them now, making sure that they're okay. But it can be similar, but it's how you deal with it, and different person deal with things differently.
While you're saying that you're focusing on your other cats while you're waiting for, that's the word, you're waiting for Tommy.
Yes,
right?
yes. Well, hoping that we will find him, or I'll get some news that he's there or something, or I just wanted to know, even now, I just wanted to know what happened to him.
Because even though the word yearning and waiting does not come into the grieving process when we talk about it from the textbook, it happens. We yearn for the loved ones. We yearn for them to come through the door. Not waiting, but there's something in the background that we want to see them come back. The parallel is there.
And I can also link that, because it makes me realize, I said, now I know when somebody loses like a loved one, like they don't know where they are, like somebody's gone missing, or and they, even if they know that they might be dead, but you just want to know. And I actually understand that through the cat, you know, because it's just knowing, because I'm still waiting for closure, because you know, to me, I wouldn't want to know that he had suffered a death, you know, just like with your loved ones, you don't want to know that they suffered through death. So there's a similarity there, and like with Tommy, with my cats, because I was living alone, so they were like my friends, my children, everything to me. You know, when I'm there, it's just me and my cats, and honestly, I don't feel lonely with them around. You know, so they did make a difference, and there's similarity with, you know, losing somebody as well.
I think you said something profound there, that, you know, because when somebody, when there's a death or passing away and of a loved one, and we have the funeral, so to the funeral, whichever way you decide to honour your loved one, you know what I mean? There's closure, isn't there? And the death could be horrific, because people die in such horrific circumstances. But you have closure, you know, whether you cremated them or you buried them, that's it. And then you start to go through that grieving process, knowing that they're there or wherever, whatever. But like you just said, Marcia, with Tommy, not knowing, even to this day, and how many years later, you still don't know whether Tommy is alive, or and then he didn't take him away because he was a lovely cat, you know, fluffy, that somebody see him and steal him and taking him far from where you are, because they say cats can come back, can't they? So they tend to find their way back home, and the fact that he hasn't come back home or found his way back home, it could be that he's passed away, or died, or you know, or somebody's taken him. But it's like you said, it's not having that closure, and then you can relate that much. You can relate that much. You said to like when people lose a loved one that goes missing.
That's right. You're waiting for them. You're constantly waiting. You see that on the television sometimes years later when a case is solved. You'll hear the investigators are saying, now the family can have a closure. Now the family can put their loved ones to rest. But until that happens, and people have actually passed themselves without having that closure.
That's so true. Do you think, like I said at the outset of the program, we honour and we understand when it comes to a person passing. When it comes to like your cat, you know, and I'm guilty, I want to look at the camera, well, you know. But do you think people understand the relationship or the bond, if you want to call it, bond relationship that an animal lover has with its pet, or his or her pet rather? Do you think that those of us who don't have pets, we can be very dismissive? So in that regard, what would you say to somebody that, you know, that disregards, you know, your feelings, as if to say, well, it's only a cat, so to speak, or it's only a dog, or it's only whatever the animal may be? What would you say to somebody like that who's got that kind of mindset?
Well, I'll say, it's if you don't have a cat or an animal, you won't understand. You know, so I can see with somebody who don't have animals, because you won't understand until it's like if you don't have a child, you don't understand how to grow up a child. So, you know, I will see with somebody who don't have a cat, I will say, give them a chance. Like I always say to Asha, they won't do you and they're lovely. And you know, when she said, you know, I said, they're lovely, they won't do you anything, they just come in to see who is in the house, you know. But yes, I understand if somebody said, oh no, because if they don't have a cat. But when you do have a cat or an animal, whatever animal, you will understand that bond. You know, so yeah, I will pass somebody who, you know, and I will see with them. And the next thing that I would say, because I think I've read something in the Bible the other day that it says, but I can't remember where, I was trying to find it. It says something about God on somebody who loves animal or something, something of the sort. Okay. I can't remember, but at some point I'll perhaps will tell you so that you can mention it. But there's something, you know, that you are blessed if you love animals. Okay. Yes, in the Bible I've seen it. I did write it down somewhere, and you know, I just couldn't find it again because I've been busy and you know I didn't, because I wanted to find it to come and mention it on here. Yes.
Okay.
But the next thing I must say, after, you know, even after Tommy's gone for 5 months, I'm still walking around, walking around the neighborhood, looking, still looking, because I haven't given up, still looking. And one day, I was in the house and I saw this cat exactly like Tommy came on the fence, and I jumped up and said, Shanice, Tommy. So when I went to call the cat was like,
oh, who are you?
Looking at me like,
I'm not Tommy.
looking like me, you know. But that cat looked exactly like Tommy, and I did say, come and get some food. Come on. He came. He had some food, but then he went. But I was so, it just bring a joy. Because I thought it was Tommy, and I thought, he's been away for 5 months. Maybe he don't remember me, but at least he remember his home. You know, but the one thing why I knew it wasn't Tommy, because that cat was a little bit younger. So that's why I knew it wasn't Tommy. After I said, no, this is not Tommy. But it looked exactly like Tommy. And you know, when you, I don't know, in movies where you see people when they lost and they steal children, you know? And I was thinking, this cat, if this cat come and he says, I'm going to keep him to replace Tommy. If he would stay, I want to lock him in the house already. But I don't know if he did come back, because I didn't. He came back a few times. A few times he came back, but I didn't, you know, because I was at work and all of that. I wasn't looking out to see or anything. So he maybe went away, but he came back a few times, you know, gave him food, because I like to feed cats. I don't keep them though. But I said, no more cats in my house. I don't want no more cats. I said, because my cats, because they have so much food, I tell you, they eat more, their food costs more than my food.
Wow.
And sometimes they don't eat it. So I have to buy different food for them. So there's always food for other cats, and save me throwing it away. If they come, I would feed them. You know, I would say, yeah, they don't want it, you eat it if you want it. But yeah, that
and that's another funny thing as well. Say funny, operative word, because you know, as parents, when we cook, when we were children growing up, and our parents cooked something, you had to eat it. You didn't have any choice.
With the pets.
But with the pets, she's Marcia. How much she loved the cat. She's saying that she gets them the special food. You know, they don't eat anything. Some people will just give the cat whatever, and they have to eat it. Marcia, she doesn't do that. I'm telling you, I've seen her, but I don't want to tell you what she feeds them on. That's between her. She wants to share that, but she buys these expensive foods, you know, for the cat. And again, it goes back to how much you love them and consider them. You know what I mean? Where again, that shows how your loyalty to these animals and the love that you have for them. You know what I mean? Which is commendable, I would say. I when I go to Marcia's, when we go to yours and the cats are there, I'm not a cat person per se, but I see the way that she. And not that the way that I hear Marcia speak about the animals. I see the way that they are with her. You know, I see. So I think it's reciprocal the way that you are with your animals and your animals with yourself.
Marcia, I was going to say Marcy. What would you say to someone then that may be watching that has lost their pets? What would you say to them? How would you encourage them?
I would encourage somebody who lost a pet to say, just remember the good times that you had with your animals. I'm sure you have photos, you can look back, just remember, you know, the cat in a good way, because that's your memory. And I would say, if possible, and if you like, I have other cats, so, and then my daughter as well came from London and bought 2 more cats, so there's 4 cats at my house now again. So yeah, I would say, if you're in that, if you can get another cat, just get another cat. And they have their different character, but I'm sure, get another cat if, you are sort of grieving another one, and that would sort of take your focus away from the one that you lost.
Give the love to somebody else.
Yes. So that's what I would say.
And you talked about going to look for Tommy. Where did you go around? Did you go? I know you were in a neighborhood. Did you go to other places to try and inquire about the cat?
Yeah, I went to the vets, because normally if there's a stray cat, people would normally take them to the vet. If they don't know, they will take them to the vet. So I went to a few vets around my area, just to see if anybody, because he could have got run over. But the thing is, he's got a chip in anyway. So, if anything happens, if they take to the vet, then they can know who the cat belongs to. So I would actually get a call. But that's what I did. And I went like not even close. And even I think one day my daughter saw another cat a little distant, a few streets from me, looked like Tommy. And the cat was he was responding to Tommy, but I don't know if it was him or what. Well, I think what they say when the cat is but Tommy knows his way, so I don't think it was him. He knows he knows his way around the area. We've lived there for over 10 years, so he knows his way. So 2 streets away, he would know how to come back if that was him. So I don't think that was him at all. But
you talked about getting the cat chip. So for those of us, or for somebody that has no idea, we can't assume that everybody understands what you mean by getting a cat chipped. Can you just explain what that means and how that helps if you have got a cat or an animal? What's the benefits of getting it done?
Okay, I think what it is, and I think the government now, there is a law where if you have a cat, you have to get them chipped, because what it is, you take them to the vet, they on a 3 monthly basis, I have to take them into the vet. I have to pay, I have to take insurance out for them, from the vet.
Is that compulsory?
Well, for me, it would be best, because if anything happened to them, then you don't have to pay a lot of money, because with at the vet, you have to take out, it's like a policy there where you take them in every 3 months to get the worm, the flea, and they get like a vaccine. So that would last a year. The vaccine will last, but every 3 months they get like the flea and the worm. And then when you take them in, when they have that operation, you have to take them to get them sort of spayed or neutered.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want any more kittens. So you have to take them in. So during that process, when you take them, then you get them, put a chip in which has got your name, it got their name, your name, your address. So if anything happened, they have a thing that they just scan and it just comes up, which it does help, because if like my other 2 cats that I lost that got run over, if they didn't have that in, I would know, because it was the vets that called me to say, look, we've got this one in, he's got run over, somebody just brought him in, so we went up. So that's the benefit. So at least I knew, I knew, where they are, and if he didn't have anything, I wouldn't know, because they wouldn't know who to contact. So it's a good thing if you've got an animal. I know people walk their dogs, but your dog can go missing as well, to get these things for them, cats, and it does help. It does. It costs, because as I said, I have to have that for the vet, plus I have to have another insurance, because that insurance would cover if say for example, run over, got broken leg, and that insurance would cover the cost for that. But the one that I pay at the vet, that's just for worming.
So Marcia, you was explaining sort of the importance of having a chip and how cost effective it is because of insurance. So what would be your final words now to the listeners regarding your story, really?
Yes, my final words would be, it's important for you to look after your animals, have them like chipped, get regular visit to the vets. And yeah, because that does help when you do that. Because it's like if you have a child, you take them to the doctors, you take them to the dentist, and that's what, you know, the cats and the dogs, that's what you do. They go, they get their regular, they get their teeth checked, they get, you know, everything checked, their regular MOT, basically. Yeah. So yeah.
Marcia, you have your final words?
Marcia, what I have to say is every loss matters. Every loss is experienced in its own different ways. I want to say thank you for sharing, and I am sorry that we don't know where Tommy is, but I am hoping and praying that one day he'll just turn up and be there. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, and again, thank you, Marcia, so much for coming. And yeah, you know, for me, because I know Marcia loves animals, and I think it's just kind of an eye opener, really. And for me, just extending some grace. Whilst we might not understand, we say in our program, every loss deserves to be seen and understood. Whilst we might not have pets ourselves, and there are others who have got pets, or whatever the grief is, it could be something. It could be, like we said in episode 1, it could be an heirloom that they've lost. It could be letters that Marcia talked about in her in episode 1. Whatever the loss is, let's just extend some grace. While we might not be going through that thing, but let's extend some grace. So once again, Marcia, thank you so much for coming along to our channel, and we hope that you have been encouraged, enlightened, a little bit more understanding about losing a pet. And we want to say thank you. So from me, Ashana.
Yes. Oh, I just want to say before we say goodbye, don't forget to like, comment, and share,
and subscribe, and subscribe. Yes, subscribe to our channel.
Yes. So I'm Marcia,
and I'm Marcia Walker, and thank you both for having me. And it was a pleasure to share my experience with my animals. And my last word for anyone who have lost a cat or a dog or whatever pet you have is just to say, keep the memories of the one that you lost, and if you can replace that one. But because I have got other cats, it helps my grieving process. So if you can replace that one, it will sort of help you as well. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy this
channel.
Yes.
So again, thank you
next
so
time.
much. Bye-bye.
The tapestry of loss. Every loss deserves to be seen, heard and understood. Hosted by Hashana Knight and Marcia Bennett.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.